I'm working
All
on it
right,
here.
we are live.
There we go.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna go to my page. All right, and we're live because it's on my page and you can see it.
Yes.
Oh, you look so cute. Oh, you look good.
Thank you. And you look so
Oh,
fabulous.
wow. Oh, well, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna send it to the group for the Soul Care Circle.
Okay. So I got you going there.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, and I want to bring up the comments so we can see that too.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right, that's gonna pop up as well. And so I'm gonna actually bring this on. We have two people already streaming and looking live. That may be you and I. Just thought about that. Um,
And that is okay. And that is okay.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So for those of you who may just be coming in, even though it may just be us, we are here live. Nope, we got some folks here. Hey, that's my cousin Tangi from Maryland. Hey, sweetheart. Welcome into the space. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're starting a little early because I want to give people a chance to come in and make sure everything's okay. Tansela, make sure you can hear us and see us pretty well. And if we need any adjustments, because I know you, so Tangela does the Sips and Solidarity
Right.
podcast, and it is amazing. I've had the opportunity to be featured on there as well. Um, okay, I'm looking at the closed captions because I didn't know that was going to be on there either. But welcome everybody. It is 6:57, and we will do a hard start with recording at 7 p.m. Remember that you can comment in the comment section. We will be watching that throughout the broadcast. I'm excited about tonight, having this beautiful soul with me in the studio. And this is going to be amazing. We're going to talk about season 4 of the Soul Healing Coach podcast. And we are in episode 1. That is with us for episode 1. I'm so excited about that.
Me
And so
too.
we are going to, you two sent me to, oh my goodness. Yes, 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 yes. So, just some housekeeping. You all make sure that you know that we are also streaming live on YouTube. Please go follow, like, and share the Soul Healing Coach LLC YouTube page. We also have the Soul Healing Coach page. Go like, follow, and share that as well. And then we also have it on Instagram. We are not streaming live on Instagram, but the video will be shared in its entirety within the next 48 hours. Hello, La Paris. Okay, we're getting some folks coming in. It is 6:58, and we're going to get started. Nat, any housekeeping things you want to share with us where we can follow you before we get started?
Yes. So there's my personal page, which is Natalia Dekine on Facebook. Also, I'm on Instagram, personal page, Nat Dekine, Nat. And then my company, Oasis Journey LLC, there is a Facebook page, there's an Instagram page, and we just launched a TikTok page. So,
Mm. Oh
yes. Oh,
yeah.
and we have a YouTube too. I forgot. I forgot.
You
We got
got
a
what?
YouTube. Yes.
A YouTube too. So what
Yes.
is your YouTube page?
It's Oasis Journey LLC at Oasis Journey LLC.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So we will mention that again as soon as we start. And we're gonna go live. Well, we're live right now. We're gonna start the recording and we're gonna get into this. Oh gosh, this is so exciting. All
Angel,
right.
you are the living, breathing epitome of joy, not just on camera, but in
Oh,
person. And in
listen,
person.
I feel like a little in right now. Oh my gosh. So let me pull up my notes because it's been a while, y'all. It's been a while. So she needs all the notes. So welcome to season 4 of the Soul Healing Coach podcast, where we are discussing our mind, body, soul, and spirit. We want you to know how these healers do it all. Tonight I have Miss, she goes by Nat, but her name is Natalia Dekine, who identifies as she and her, who is the owner and energy healing practitioner at Oasis Journey LLC. Through prayer, acupuncture, tuning forks, sound healing, and yoga is where she gradually regained her mobility after a battle that she overcame with Lyme disease. What I find very exciting about this beautiful soul is when she walks into the room, there is a calm that comes over. There's also a mystery, and she is a great connector of souls as well. I invite you to hear, to see, and experience Miss Natalia Dekine. Welcome to the space.
Thank you, Angel. I appreciate you. And it's Natalia. It's Natalia.
Natalia, I'm so sorry.
Well,
Y'all
it's
know me
okay.
a
It's all
name.
right. It's
Y'all
all
ever
right.
been with me, you know me a name.
It's all right.
All right. So she gonna say it for us one more time, and we're not gonna mispronounce it. And I'm gonna call her Nat because I'm gonna be safe the rest of the time.
It's Natalia, but you can call me Nat too.
So anybody's ever worked with me spiritually, you know it takes me 3 times before I get your name down pat. And then by then, being the black color southern woman that I am, I'm gonna give you a nickname before it's all over with. And so hers is definitely sunshine. It's always gonna be sunshine. I don't know if she likes sunshine, but that's exactly, it was a rainy day when we actually met each other in person. But she brought the sunshine in with her. So I'm so excited for you
Thank
to
you.
be here. Now, Nat, tell me a little bit about yourself,
Mhm.
who you are, and what you do when it comes to soul healing.
So, a little bit about me. I am not from the South. I'm actually from just outside of Detroit, Michigan. I came to the South 2006. Um, and uh, I got married this year, which was really fun. Angel, I cannot see you anymore. Are you still present?
I am love. I am giving you the floor. Go ahead and
Oh,
keep
okay.
going.
Okay. Never mind then. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. She's not there. Um, so um, I love what you said about being calm and just bringing sunshine into a space. It's something that I enjoy doing with anybody that I meet or
Mhm.
just a return meeting. Um, let's see. I love to read. Um, I love to have fun. I like to laugh a lot and be goofy because there was a time where I didn't do that very well. And I enjoy laughter and fun and camaraderie and connecting with people and connecting to people. I enjoy that. You asked me about soul healing. Meditation has been a big, big thing for me. It's got me back into my body a lot. I think a lot of times we're so much out here that we
Mhm.
forget what's going on here. And I
Yes.
noticed that I wasn't breathing. I noticed that I was
Hmm.
just, you know, not taking a deep breath. And along my journey with everything I navigated with health, I got introduced to different healing modalities. But my favorite is meditation,
Hmm.
yoga, the tuning forks, the sound healing, Reiki, acupuncture, these things that some people might deem them as mysterious and some people might deem them
Hmm.
as something that's not so good, but it's been around. They've been around. These modalities have been around for a long, long time. And they came into my world when I needed them the most. And it opened up a door of curiosity for me, especially when I seen the results of just having
Mhm.
acupuncture or sound healing or Reiki. And this stuff is available to anybody. And it just, if you are open minded, there's a lot of
Uh,
things that you can learn.
you know what? I thank you for sharing that with us. Like you said, tuning forks, like I know what those are, but can you explain to us what that is, how they work, or how it was used in your healing process?
Yes. So I'll tell you a story of how it was used and made me a believer out of it. And so you'll see them, they kind of look like something you would poke some chicken on, except for it's just two. I like food, so I like to reference food. Um,
Yeah,
some poke the chicken to make sure it's cooking, and but you wouldn't poke the chicken. So, and each one carries a hertz frequency. Okay, and we have this field outside of us, this auric field. And
mm-hmm.
there was a woman who approached me up in the upstate, just random one day. And
Mm-hmm.
she had said, and at the time I was with somebody else, and she had said to this person, "Hey, I feel called to offer you guys a tuning fork sound healing session." And at first, at the time, I was kind of like, "What's that?" I knew a little bit about it, but I was like, "What you doing?"
What is that?
Like, what
Yeah.
you doing? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just opened myself up to it. And it went on for about an hour. And she would hit one of the tuning forks with her activator, and it would let out this high frequency. And she would run
Mm.
it over your body in certain spots.
Oh,
And
wow.
she used like many. I remember she like opened her sack and it was like a lot of them in there. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? But I remember she would hit the tuning fork and the frequency would change when it came close to my body. And that was an
Ooh.
indicator of a blockage of some sort because we
Okay.
all have
Okay.
energy that rolls through. You have chakras in your body, meridians, and all of this it affects you, especially when there's a blockage. And I was still battling illness at that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
I will just tell you, I was calm. I could think. And I was having a problem sleeping still at that time. I slept like a
Okay.
baby that night. It's like my nervous system finally went, oh,
Hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
okay. And
Yes.
it is, I just, I encourage anybody, just go look it up and then go get it done so you can experience the same thing. And we can talk about
Just
that
gonna
too.
do it. Yeah.
Just
Uh-huh.
do it. But it at the time wasn't something that I was privy to like going to get because I was in a very religious circle. And so these things weren't talked about. And so this
Okay.
door opened
Okay.
for me to learn.
Oh, so I know we had a meeting the other day, right, to kind of get to know each other, and you kind of hit on something, which is sometimes when we are raised a certain way, spiritually or religiously, we have these frameworks that we live in and that we worship in and we practice in. And sometimes when we begin to hear how others practice or they have different belief systems, um, sometimes we can be put off a little bit by that, or it's like, that is not a God, those kind of things. But I want to ask you this question in this way. Let me ask it the way I wrote it. How about that? You say that you walk the alternative path in your bio. What does that mean?
Alternative, I didn't do this mainstream. I didn't do this according to how people told me I needed to go about my healing.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Um, it, I think I told you, Angel, when we met, I said I was at a
Mhm.
crossroads and, I still believe in prayer. I still talk to God, the divine. It might not sound or look the way it used to, but I still have
Mhm.
the same access. None of that has changed. I'm gonna put that out there. Okay. Um,
Okay.
I'm gonna
Serve
put that out.
notice. Serve
Yes.
all the notice on that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing with that has
Yeah.
changed. And I could go one route or I could go the route of acupuncture. And
Hmm.
not that the other route wasn't going to be beneficial, it probably would have, but I was being guided to go to this acupuncturist. And
Okay.
the reason I said alternative is because I was consulted not to do that because there was doors and things that I was going to open myself up to by doing it. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And so when I went, and I think I told you, I was bedridden for 9 months. I had to learn how to walk again. When I went to this practitioner, I was on a cane and hunched over, going into
Hmm.
her office and just pain. And within 2 weeks of having the acupuncture, I was standing up straight and my pain level had drastically decreased. So I have been in the church. I had done the altar call. I have had people lay hands on me and declare things over me. And those things are powerful and relevant. And listen, they that's part of it. But there was all these other things
Okay.
that were available as well. And
Hmm.
I learned, well, wait a minute, you ask God for healing, you got to be open to how it's going to show up.
Oh, okay. Because in our conversation we had the other day, something that came up was, God or divine will use any and everything to get a message or a word to us. Any and everything. Um, it could be how we make our coffee in the morning. It can be watching a mother and their child,
Mhm.
right? It could be secular insights, which are things we normally see in the world
Yes.
and we don't even think about. And we go, oh my gosh, that's the answer to my prayer.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so I really want us to talk about that some more. Trinity Chapel said amen to that. She said amen to that. So I really want us to kind of go into that some more. Let's take a deeper dive. Y'all know I do something called the soul dive. And so um, what spiritual beliefs will you say you have at this moment in your life?
Okay.
And how does that show up in your daily walk?
Um, I still believe in God, the divine. I still believe in spirit. My wife introduced me to ancestral work
Okay.
and honoring your ancestors um,
Hmm.
when her and I got together. But in this moment right now, I believe that the divine exists and the divine is not limited to any mainstream one way of revealing themselves. And I said themselves.
Themselves. I heard you. I called it. Now you
Okay.
may have to explain that to some of us, but keep going.
Right.
I'm ready for all the tools for that one.
Well, and yes. Well, and then you talked about, God talking to you or the divine or source or whatever
Hmm.
you want to call it, um,
Exactly.
speaking to you. And the first thing that came to my mind in the Bible was the donkey that talked. Okay. All right. The
Yes.
donkey. And
Exactly. Hmm.
and so for me, as I have broadened my exploration of the
Okay.
divine source universe, I go back to that. I'm like, if God to use a donkey, God to use whatever God wants to communicate something.
Anything. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And so in this moment, I'm more spiritual than religious. Okay. And
Okay.
when I say spiritual, I am more into higher consciousness and
Hmm.
however you want to show up to me, angel, and whatever deity that you ascribe worship value to, I'm going to find beauty in that because that is personal to you. That is
Gotcha.
personal to you. That means something to you. Um, if we see these Buddhist monks walking across the country, okay,
Yes.
they're not even doing a whole. I mean, they are talking and being interviewed, but they are making a statement that is their faith. They've been doing this for a long time. This is not anything new that they've been doing,
Mhm.
but they are doing something to ascribe to, this is what we believe in, unity and peace, right? I can
Mhm.
respect
Mhm.
that, even though,
Yeah.
I grew up looking in this Bible and then this Bible and then this book and then this book. I
Yeah.
think the collective is just to honor however a person sees God, the divine, Jesus Christ,
Mm,
uh, Buddha, the Dalai Lama, whatever
yeah.
you ascribe to that. I'm
Mhm.
not going to
Mhm.
dishonor you or discredit you because that's what you ascribe your allegiance to or what you believe in. Who
Yes.
am I to do that?
Mhm. Mhm.
Who
I
am I to do
definitely hear
that?
that.
So,
Yes.
yeah. So I'm a person of great
Yes.
curiosity. My spiritual walk, me and my wife pray together every morning. Okay. We pray together every morning.
Okay.
I meditate every
Yes.
morning. I do the affirmations. Um, Me and my wife, our spiritual life together and apart. It's different to some people and it might seem weird to some people. We have
Mm,
crystals in our home. I have
yeah.
crystals. Crystals are not demonic. I mean, if you they carry frequencies. You're not worshiping them. They're used for
Yeah.
ailment. They're used for meditation. I mean, there were things that even the wise men brought to the baby of Jesus. And some of that was essential
Yeah.
oils and some of it was
Yeah.
crystal. Okay?
Okay.
And they right, and they
Okay.
came right. They
Yes.
came to bless if you study it out, they came to bless him with
Yes.
it. I don't remember reading that, "Oh my
Yes.
god, that's of the devil, take that back." I don't remember reading that.
No.
Okay, and I'm
No,
just
and I
using
think,
this
it's individual interpretations. Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
And I'm just talking about based on the things that I was raised and reared in and growing up the way I grew up and then going into the church. Okay, if
Okay.
somebody's on that path, Angel, I'm not going to, that's for you. But
Mhm.
I ascribe value. One of the things I say on my podcast when I'm podcasting, and I always end it with this: your life has purpose. You are on this planet for a reason. People need to know your, oh, no, you're sorry. Now I got it all twisted. You are on this planet for a reason. People
Mhm.
need to know that you are here, and people need to hear from you.
Yes.
Okay, I think I
And people
missed
need to
one, but
understand.
it's my brain
That's
right now.
okay.
But the whole
That's
point is
okay.
affirming the existence of the fact that you are here and it's for a purpose.
And it's for a purpose.
It's for a
And
purpose, and
so
God is going to show up through you and through other people
mhm.
in ways that you need it, large and small. Sorry, I got on a tangent.
Oh, no, it's okay. We can go on tangents here on the
Yes.
podcast, okay? And because I really want people to hear your soul and your heart. And a lot of times we spend a lot of time defending and or explaining the things that we no longer use, operate, or things that no longer serve us in our spiritual beliefs or religious practices. And I want to spend a lot of time tonight, like really honoring those things that bring you balance and bring you peace and bring you joy.
Mhm,
um, and so a lot of folks know me. Like, I believe, that our ancestors are still guiding us in some way, having conversations spiritually with us in some way, sending us signs. And I know during the holidays, that's how I got through. One of the one things I did cook was like, y'all don't have to come in here and help me with this because I could not remember the spice, right?
mhm,
But then
yeah,
also understanding that sometimes for me, the process may be to grab an oracle card deck while
mhm,
I'm doing my prayers and meditations to see what spirit will say
mhm,
through that and
mhm,
how that will lead me and guide me. Yes, I'm going to grab one of my crystals, right? Whether it's a smoky quartz or a citrine to kind of guide me and help me and cleanse and make things
mhm,
clearer. And so I understand these things, right? I also understand, for me to say, you know what, I was rocked through the church, okay,
mhm,
preaching, teaching, all those things. But I also understood when my soul needed more. And
mhm,
so I want to talk to you a little bit about that and have that exchange tonight. Um, when did you know that your soul desired more, that it needed more than what you had been taught?
Um, I'll be very honest with you, Angel. I knew that a while back, even before I
Mm,
got sick. Some people are like, "Did you really get it when you got sick?" I think that kicked it into overdrive. Um,
okay.
but there was always, and I can, as far back as I can remember, even as a child, I always felt like there was this deep-seated stirring of something more, of this can't
Mm,
be all there is.
okay.
Um, and I just think that I've had that intuitively as a child, but it really kicked
Mm,
into high gear when I had to walk through having the Lyme's disease because,
mm,
you
okay.
I don't know if you permit me, I'll just talk just a little bit about
Yeah,
that.
go ahead.
Um, Lyme disease is real, and it will affect every organ in your body. People lose weight on Lyme's disease. Some people gain weight. I was one of those. I was joking with you at coffee the other day. I said I got down to like a size 6. I was like in my little body, but but I got there through that, and I
Uh-huh.
began to experience things, and there were people who came around me and loved on me and helped me through it. And then there were people
Mm,
that had an expectation of, well, you should be healed by now. So
ooh,
something's going on with you if this isn't happening fast enough.
mm,
Accusations. I told you at that point I
mhm,
reread the book of Job and I started to see what was happening in the book of Job play out in my own life when it
mm.
came to
That part.
accusations
Okay.
and different things. But that awakened me, and I thought, well, wait a minute. I'm doing all the things. I'm going to church. I got people coming over, putting oil on me and laying hands on me, declaring things and,
Mhm.
and just different things, doing what I knew. But
What
I,
you
I
do,
always felt like
yes.
there's something more. There's something more to this because that was a 3-year process. That wasn't like, boom, you're done. It
Mm,
was a 3-year journey. And I felt in that time, like I remember praying. I'm like, if there's more, I want to know. I want to know more. And getting me through this so I can get to the
mhm,
other side, I will have every experience. I will open myself up to learning whatever I need to learn. Because, when
yeah,
you're in that dark, some people call it the dark night of the soul, when you're experiencing something
mm,
like that, you can't remember how to cook. You can't remember if you took a shower, if you brushed your
mm,
teeth, and people had to
okay,
come and help you to take care of these things.
okay.
It changes you. It changes you. And it
Mm,
made me realize that there was more.
I hear that. And so you realize the tools that you had been given, that you had been practicing your whole life, that there was something more. Sounds like there had to be something more to add
Mhm.
to this, or something that would help ease the pain, and not only ease the pain, but help aid in healing. And
Mhm.
so, in that journey, when you turn to the acupuncture
Mhm.
and going over to using the tuning forks, like you were telling us, like with how long was it of that journey until you were like standing upright and walking again?
So at that point, before I got into the acupuncture, it had already been like a year and a half that I was on
Okay.
this journey. And it was very exhausting in that, but everything was strategic. Like even how that came about, it was
Mm,
so like you're being led. You're being led
oh,
here. But it
yeah.
took a while, but 2 weeks after a treatment, like I think even after the first couple of ones, it was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, and then 2 weeks, and then
Huh.
consecutively after that,
Uh-huh.
and people can go look up acupuncture. I mean, it's a great healing modality. You have people with Parkinson's using it,
Yes.
chronic fatigue, chronic pain. There's a
Mm,
list of things it's
mhm,
so good for.
mhm.
Yeah.
I will never forget. It's another healer in the area. Her name is Mona
Mhm.
Lee. Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she does aculear
Mhm.
acupuncture. And you should have seen me. I was like, I'm the only. black woman going up in here. I don't even know what this is about to be. I'm about to let her do what to my ear, and you about to put the needles in my ear. Like it was, I was so worried, but I was in a space where I kind of felt um like out of body, like I wasn't grounded. I felt like my soul wasn't like fully in my body. I'm like, I need some help. And I was doing therapy in a space that she was doing acupuncture in. And so we kind of met each other. And so I came to one of her gatherings, and I will never forget, that was the best sleep of my life for a week after
Yeah.
that session with her.
Yeah.
I felt back in tune and in my body, and felt like
Yes.
I was balanced again. I think we are so prone to, okay, take it to God, take it to Jesus, and it's going to be fixed, right? Or we're so quick to say, go to the regular general doctor and go get these prescriptions. And hear me, I believe there's a type of healing for everybody.
Mhm.
But then there are moments, I can remember my own experience when I had a very awful car accident and my body kind of locking up on me. I called a dear friend of mine, Katrina, and she was a Reiki master at the time. And I never forget her laying me on my floor. And I was like, I don't know what she's doing,
Yeah.
but it was working,
Yeah.
because I felt better in the end. My body was responding to it. I felt like there was weights that were lifted off of me. And so when we
Mhm.
talk about laying on of hands, I heard you say that earlier in the church. And, I remember, laying of hands and warring with people in prayer and throwing sheets and all that stuff.
Yes.
But we talked a little bit about this the other day, about the same type of energy, that
Mhm.
same feeling that we get when we are laying hands on people
Right.
is very similar, if not the very same thing, of
Mhm.
when we perform energy healing
Right.
for others as Reiki practitioners.
Yeah. It's
How do you
we
feel
talked
about that?
about, and I might ruffle some people's feathers what I'm about to say, but
It's all right. That's
it's
what
gonna
this
be
podcast
okay.
normally does. It's
It's gonna
okay.
be,
Go
you can
ahead.
reach out to me if you got more questions. How about that? Um, I'm glad to meet with you. Um, you look at the character of Christ, and Christ laid hands
Mm,
on people, okay? And you think about
mhm.
Reiki as a universal life force. That's what the word means, okay? It's not tied to any religious belief. It's been here, right? And we are all made
Yes.
up of energy, okay? Um
Mhm.
you I can remember being in the church and just touching somebody and not even like praying, but you just walk past them and just
Just want
acknowledge that they're there.
to.
And girl, oh my goodness. Oh,
What
I
did you
just feel so
do?
much
Yeah.
love. I always feel so much love from you. That is energy, right? And
That is
so when
energy.
it's
Yes.
energy. So when you are in session, your your
Mhm.
hands and you're scanning somebody's body, your hands
Mhm.
as a practitioner, it's gonna tell you. There's
Uh-huh.
gonna tell you
Uh-huh.
there's something going on there. It'll be a tingling, it might be
Mhm.
warm, it might be cold. It manifests in different ways, but it's available to everybody, and
Everyone. Yeah.
I bel the thing that I feel like is where I think there's kind of a blockage with this is, yes, you see the character of Christ in doing it, and I said to you, what if he was tapped into the exact same thing?
What if?
What if?
Right? What
What if
if?
he was tapped into the exact same thing? And that might be hard for people to hear and to
Mhm.
put
Mhm.
together, but like it it's true. Like when
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
acupuncturist introduced me to it, and she just started at my feet. That's the only place she touched, my ankles. Okay. And
Wow.
there are placements in Reiki on the body that you can
Okay.
touch, right?
Yes.
That's one of
Uh-huh.
them.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All she did was at my feet, and I could feel just like this. And she wasn't giving me energy or anything like
Mhm.
that. Okay. So I want to
Yeah.
dispel that. But it was just like I could feel something shifting and moving in my body, and all it was
Mm.
energy.
Yes.
because we are all
Yes.
made
I
up
mean,
of energy. We all
all of it.
are energy. This computer, this light in front of me, all of these things is energy.
It's
This light
energy.
that's giving me light
It's
on my
energy.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and when you start, I feel like when you start to begin to entertain that,
Hmm.
it opens you up to begin to see it. Like you go to the beach, and if you sit there and you just sit in the sand and you listen
Hmm.
to the waves and the birds, the ocean is a symphony. Okay. It is a
Oh yeah.
symphony. Okay. Or
Hmm.
the trees, you watch the trees move, right? And they're doing a dance, but it's a symphony. You can hear the wind, but you can't see it.
You
Guess
can't hear.
what?
Okay.
Energy.
Energy. Yes. Yes. Listen, I'm here all for this. I'm about to give you some snaps on that one because you are teaching us today.
Yeah.
Um, I'll never forget a conversation I had with someone, and they were like, "Oh, so now you're doing that energy healing stuff." Now, a couple of weeks ago you was in church, and I was talking about the church that I went to. We wasn't laying hands on nobody because we didn't practice in any of that. Okay.
Mhm.
Now we wanted you to come to the front of the church and be prayed for. But wasn't nobody laying no hands on you.
Mhm. Mhm.
So part of this for me was an experience of realizing greater works shall ye do, which is signs and wonders follow those that believe. And understanding that in this vessel, what is the point of me, right, presenting myself, right, as a servant, or presenting myself as a sacrifice, reasonable and acceptable unto God, which is my reasonable service, right? If I'm not willing to be fully used, if I've come into a room and can't shift the energy that's
Mhm.
in there, if I can't pick up on when somebody is not themselves, and if I understand and have done my personal work spiritually and worked on myself and my energy fields, I should be okay, right? Like you said, just kind of touching them on the shoulder or rubbing their back, or not even touching, but just being close in proximity
Mhm.
to let them feel the change and
Mhm.
absorb some of that from them. And then also help them understand how they can shift and change their lives using energy healing,
Mhm.
and that we don't have
Mhm.
to walk around with this angst and all this anxiety trapped in our body, that we can use energy healing to process those things out.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. 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 And yes.
Yes, all of that.
And yes. All the things. All of that. All of
All of
that.
that.
And being, I mean, asking questions, being open. I'll never forget.
Hmm.
There's a healer, just very powerful presence in the healing community in the upstate that just passed away, named Adrian Carsey. And I remember going to this healing collective space up there
Okay.
and sitting with her and asking her
Mhm.
questions, asking her
Okay.
questions about Reiki, asking her questions about sound. Because I remember saying, I'm like, what are these bowls that you keep using? What is this stuff that you're? I was curious. I was curious.
Okay.
And her
Hmm.
having the compassion to understand
Mm.
where I was, because she was a very intuitive and a very compassionate person.
Okay.
Um, and to sit with her, and I think her and I sat there for over an hour, and I talked to her and
Mm.
asked her questions because I wanted to know. I was curious. I was
Okay.
curious.
Okay.
And I didn't even fully have the understanding that I have now of these things.
Mm.
Okay. But the fact that she was willing to sit with me and talk to me and answer my
Yeah.
questions, it made me want to go and investigate more.
And that saying of all who wander are not lost. I'll never forget the first time I saw that on a t-shirt. And I think I was in Walmart and I snatched that shirt so quickly.
Hmm.
And it was a it was a testament to me, right? Because a lot of times we think when we see people take a journey elsewhere outside of the church walls, right, that they have left God or they're leaving their beliefs behind. And I have been fortunate to be in spaces and circles where I can hold all of it at the same time. I can hold it and be, that believer in God and Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I also can believe that there is a divine mother. I can also
Mhm.
sit there and understand what it means to have an altar, to Oshun, like all these different things, and be okay sitting in that capacity
Yes.
without the need to explain it to anybody else.
Mhm.
Because I know that all of these things together help me stay, I'm going to say the best way I know how to say it, in a spiritually sound space,
Mhm.
and one of the most emotionally balanced that I've ever been in my life, understanding the power that we as human beings have from our soul and our spirit, that we're
Mhm.
not always looking external
Mhm.
for something
That
to
part.
help us with something.
Now you about to light me up, Angel.
Okay, go. Light, camera, action. Get
Like
it.
that part.
Yes.
You're the guru.
Okay. Go
Okay.
ahead. Talk to us.
It is. It
Yes.
is. Like I said in the beginning, when I exited church per se, let's just say that,
Okay.
and the role that I was
Mm-hmm.
in ministry and the pastorate and all these things, the divine God, whoever you want to call it, that the mindset did not shift. It did not change. It
Mm,
evolved.
mm,
It evolved.
mm.
And this is not me saying, oh, well, I have more knowledge. No, it's not like that. It's just because I was open to more. I was open to more. I was open to more. But you're the guru. It's one of the things I love about meditation. It's getting you back into your body. It's getting you back into your body. You
Mm,
are
yes.
mind is going to wander because that's what our minds do. They're going to wander. And when your mind starts to
Okay.
wander and you got that laundry list of stuff that's trying to get your attention during meditation, you come back to your breath. You come back to
Okay.
your breath, and your breath is the center of everything. And when you come back,
Mm,
it gets your nervous system to calm down, it gets your thoughts to slow down, and you can focus and get back into your body, and it provides healing. There's so much information out there about meditation and how it will change your life and how it will get you
okay.
focused and
Mm-hmm.
how it's like a self-healing practice. You don't have to look outside. It's right here.
Mm-mm.
You don't even have to, you
Yes.
and I don't even have to think about breathing right now. We're just
Come
doing
on,
it.
talk to us.
We're
Yes.
just doing it. That in and of itself is a gift. You don't have to think about it.
So let's explain this in the way that some folks can can understand it. I'm looking at the numbers. I was like, I see them dropping, which is okay, because
Yeah.
that's what this podcast is about. Is giving people understandings of all the ways to care for their mind, body, soul, and spirit. Right?
Right.
When we look at the fact that um, Jesus says, "Behold, I will send one whom is greater," and that it was the power of the Holy Spirit. I'm going here that was left with us, which means we're not waiting on anybody else to give us access to the power that worketh in us, because we can do exceedingly and abundantly above all we could ever ask to think, according to the power that worketh in us. And guess what? The power is the source. The source is God or whomever, whatever you are deeming that source to be. However, I want to sit on the other side of that bench and say, if I was created from the source, then therefore I am a part of the source. And therefore the source resides within me.
Mhm.
And I have always heard this whole, oh, we're being perfected, we're being perfected, we're being perfected. I'm like, well, if I came from the most perfected, hmm, I'm going to say creator,
Mhm.
if I am a part of the sum, then I am a part of the whole, which means wholeness comes from internal, the inside,
Mhm.
my heart, my mind, my soul, my spirit, my energy.
Mhm.
And if we focus on those things, something I've watched with the monks who are walking across, America, in the sense of sometimes they say nothing at all,
Correct.
right? And then sometimes they show and they say some things and they talk and they explain, but the peace that they carry because of that personal work they do internally on a regular basis is
Correct.
so amazing. And I
Yeah.
just feel like we're getting back to a focus spiritually in this world. I think something's shifting. I think it started like right before the pandemic. I think you and I had this conversation,
Yes.
and how people began to look like, okay, I can't go to the church building right now,
Mm-hmm.
but somehow we still survive. Somehow we still stayed in the will of God. Somehow we still continue to be saved. Somehow God continued to open the windows of heaven for us and pour us out a blessing even when we couldn't send in the tithe money. Like all these things
Mm-hmm.
that we are now understanding the power that worketh in us.
Right. And it also makes me think of fearfully and wonderfully made. It
Mm,
also makes me think of exceedingly and abundantly above all that we could ask, think, or imagine, according to the power that works within us.
according. And the question is, what is the power that's working?
Correct. 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 And it's these are
Woo.
things that, when I began to go on this journey, I was like, well, wait a minute. I think this is the same thing.
Yes.
I think
You
this
know
is
what just
this.
hit me? What just came in my mind? Do you remember that song from church that folks used to sing? Power, Lord, power, power,
Yes.
Lord, and you
Yes.
would clap
That one a lot.
and you would
Yes.
call it the
Yeah.
power,
Yeah.
right? And we talked about earlier when people hear words like conjuring or we hear words like um, 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 embodying, right? That we go, oh no, well, what you think you do?
Mm,
We're doing
yeah.
we're doing the same
You
stuff.
you're stirring things up. That's exactly what you're doing. Like, and if you were in the
Mm,
spirit-filled churches and you believed in the gift of speaking in tongues, that was a way of what did they call it? Um, affirming yourself
affirming. Hmm.
in an
Hmm.
unknown tongue. Yeah. But there was something
Okay.
about when you did it corporately, there's all these things that are
And I think that's the difference, right? Is the internal
Mhm,
process because a lot of spiritual and religious practices we
mhm,
believe should be done in that corporate greater good of the
mhm.
community.
Yeah.
But we also know that there are moments where Christ went away by himself, that he didn't want anybody else
Yeah.
with him.
Really good at that too. Really good at that.
Really
Really
good.
good at that. Like knew the limits and said, "Okay, I got to go over here and take
Mhm.
care of myself." And
Yeah.
that it's important because our bodies, they're sacred. Our bodies aren't designed for certain things like this go 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 go.
Mm,
One of the things I learned 2025, and I think we talked about it a little bit when I got rear-ended, and I was like, okay, you got to get somewhere and sit down.
yes.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to get somewhere and sit down. And rest is sacred. Rest is powerful. Going away. Yeah,
Mm,
Jesus went away by himself, and I always joke. I was like, he was tired of the people. Okay. I always joke and say he needed a break. I'm sorry, I threw my phone down.
look,
Um,
Jesus said, I need a retreat.
I
Jesus
need
said,
a
I need
retreat.
respite for my soul away from y'all.
Right. I needed to
Really? It's
go
a
and
real
be
thing.
refilled. I needed, even he knew his limits. He's like, I gotta go and I gotta replenish and meditate and spend time with the divine and just solitude and
Yes.
sitting. And I'm just like, we can do that. And it's
Yeah.
okay. It's actually very good for you.
Actually very necessary for healing,
It's
right?
very necessary for healing. That accident, I needed to get somewhere and sit down. I mean, I'm in the public every day and I'm behind the
Mm,
chair and or not every day, but just working with people and I have to take time to replenish myself because I'm in a constant state of giving. He was in a constant state of giving.
mm.
Anybody who's
I am
working a nine to
typing
five
into
job,
it.
you're giving. You got to replenish.
Okay,
You got to keep by yourself.
that part. So
Yeah.
everybody, I know you see the comments kind of rolling in. I just put in here, please send in additional questions. This is where we hit the 15-minute mark before we wrap things up. I cannot believe we've been on here already for like
That went by
35 minutes.
very
It's crazy.
fast.
But you know what? Because we're having fun and we're telling
Yes,
the truth. And those two things go very well together.
they do.
So if you all have any additional questions for Nat, so while we're waiting on those questions, Nat, I think you posted the other day, so I think it's public knowledge that you finished writing a book. Can
I
you
did.
tell us just a little bit about it, even if you don't know the full name, and what it is about, if you don't mind?
I'm happy to tell you. So I finished a memoir. I set out in 2019, right before the pandemic, right before I got sick with Lyme disease, and I was going to write this book under a different topic, and
Hmm.
got sick, and everything stopped. And so I had times in the midst of trying to pick it back up, pick it back up, pick it back up, and then
Okay.
um, a few years ago when I allowed myself to fully embrace who I was and publicly
Mhm.
announce who I was, um, I started trying to write the book again. So the title of the book
Okay.
is What Happens in the Cocoon. And I'm gonna give a shout out to my wife because she helped me with the title because I had a different title. And she kind of drilled me one day to get it out of me, which was very loving. And so thank you, babe, for doing that.
Mm,
But it's called What Happens in the Cocoon. And there's a lot that happens in the cocoon. It's actually called the chrysalis. And that caterpillar becomes mush and is
mm,
completely transformed and rebuilt before it emerges as a butterfly. And this is
mm.
my story of that. There's a lot that I will share about how I was raised, um, just the things that I was reared in, things that I came into later, and then finding my voice and being able to say, hey, listen, I'm going to come away from this and I'm going to go find what it is the more that I'm looking
Mm,
for and how it's led me to where I am today. So, my hope is that it will encourage people to listen to your voice, honor your path, because
mm.
you're not going to get steered wrong. And I'm still standing, I'm still here.
Oh, and I can't wait for the book because it just led me to my last question.
Thanks.
That I'm so in like a space right now since you said what you said. Like I'm kind of stuck. I'm stuck in between feeling the emotions behind what you just said and being able to articulate question. All things have happened to me on the podcast before. So wait a minute, let me sit with this.
Okay, I'm gonna sip this water while you.
Mm, trusting your path.
Mhm.
There's so many times that oh, y'all not gonna get me emotional. Let me drink some of my tea. There's so many times we look, look at the therapist like y'all not gonna make me cry here. Okay. Um we oh gosh, there's so many times we don't trust the path that we're being given because there's nobody who's walked it before us,
Mhm.
or it looks so much different than everything we've been taught.
Correct.
And so when you say trust that path and then you had the courage to write and explain and share, like that is going to be amazing. So my question is, what did you do if there was ever a time that you didn't believe or trust your walk and your journey? How did you come through that?
I stood still. I stood still because
Mm,
the foundation never left me. It was always there. I just had to get still and wait.
mm,
And that could be a
be still
challenging thing.
and know.
Yeah. Yeah. It, there
Mhm.
is, I think of that scripture, be still and know. It's the stillness. It's the stillness. It's the ground. You still standing on solid ground.
Okay.
Okay. You're still
Hmm.
standing on solid ground. You are being cared for, you are being held, you are being protected, you are being guided, even when you can't
Yes.
see it. I
Hmm.
stood still. And sometimes standing still for me was balled up in the corner crying. Sometimes standing still for
Mm.
me was um just just sitting in silence. And I remember a time where I was afraid of the silence. The silence scared me because I was used to so much
Ooh,
noise. Um
okay. Uh,
but
that's a
getting
whole
still.
lot right there. Yeah. Sometimes I don't even remember. It's either in the Celebration of Discipline book or it's in one of Dietrich Bonhoeffer's writings. I don't remember. It's been so long since I had my first year of seminary and left. But we'll talk about that another day. Um, where's where the words say, y'all, that's a whole nother testimony. The
Right.
words in this book says that one is not fit for community if he cannot be alone.
Mm,
And
mhm.
I don't remember anything else. Well, it's
Yes.
three other quotes I remember from a whole year of seminary, but we'll talk about it another day. But
Look,
that
that just hit
has
me right
stuck
here.
with me. Yeah,
That just hit me right here. I was like, woo.
like, oh, excuse me, y'all, not the whole thing, but that has stuck with me.
Mhm,
Because I had a life that was, it always was noise and people and big family and all of that. And
mhm,
I remember like quietly trying to like steal away, even as a child, like getting lost in the
mhm,
field across the street, just playing for hours by myself. Now there's cousins over here on the swing set, but I'm like, bye, gone. I'm over here talking with spirit and the ancestors and thinking I'm over here playing with other folks. And it was just me.
yeah,
It was just
yeah,
me because we have to understand that that need to be alone is so important. And so
mhm,
you got still and you,
yeah,
what's that saying? Steal away.
yeah.
You,
Still
you
away.
stole away.
Yeah. And still in a way, there's
Hmm.
transformation. There's a lot that happens in that stillness, and sometimes that stillness can be painful. This is just me being transparent. Because
Mm.
you're used to going and doing and being and people having access to you all the time.
Yeah.
Especially in ministry, like you know how that is,
Yes.
so still in a way and learning to embrace the silence, but
Hmm.
also learning to be in the stillness and wait and just wait.
Okay.
Um,
And just
yeah,
wait.
it's a sacred
Hmm.
practice.
Being still. So this is not. So I always do a recap and takeaway. And so what
Okay.
I'm really hearing is one, trust your path.
Hmm.
Two, it's okay to try different things when it comes to healing. Three, I hear this in my friend Shaliza's voice when she says, "Sit down and sit down and be quiet somewhere." In the sense of,
Sit down.
sit down somewhere. Oh my God, like stop moving, stop doing so much. But I really that have taken those words away from you tonight. And then also the internal processes and the healing that comes from within.
Mhm.
Um, the healing
Somebody
that comes
asked a
from within.
question. I
Okay,
see.
let's see.
Ah,
How
Tracy.
did you
Tracy.
deal with the weight?
I
That is
love
from Tracy Pickens.
Tracy.
Yeah, how did you
Tracy.
deal? Tracy, how did you
Yes.
deal with the weight?
Um, I dealt with it like any human being would deal with a weight. You would have days where it was easy, and you had days where it was hard, and you like banging your fist on the ground, like, what is going on here? The weight was
Mm,
tears. Um, and then, I felt like then there's grief that's involved in the weight because then you feel like you missed something, like, what did I miss? So there's so many different parts of the weight. And I think it's important to remember that you are human too. And going through those emotions in the process, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It is
mm,
very much therapeutic. And when you come to the end of it, there's a
okay.
enlightenment and a vision that and a clarity that comes, and you're able to look
Hmm.
back and go, wow, I didn't think I was going to get through this.
But yet still,
but yet
you
still, and I
did.
always go back to the story of Job too. I love you,
Okay.
Tracy. Tracy has been with me, her and Trinity. They have been with me through all of this. They have watched this, okay, for
Mm,
years, and they have not changed their mind about me, and I love that. um, just consistent, and I love
mm.
them so much. When you think
You say you
of
better teach.
I love Tracy. But you think
You
about
better
Job,
teach.
right? But you think about Job, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna make this quick because I know we're getting ready to go. But you and I talked
Let's
about this
go.
when we met. You think about Job,
Mm-hmm.
okay? You heard it preached so much in the church. He was blessed sevenfold. He got this back. He got this, and he got this. Wait a minute. What about when he was cleaning his skin of the boils with the potsherd? If you study it out, it's a broken piece of ceramic. He's cleaning
Yes.
out
Yes.
boils. Okay.
Yes.
That was his stillness, but that was the making of Job.
Mm,
That was
mm,
the making him. Don't nobody want to talk about that part. That was the making of him. That
mm,
part where he had to get in tune with himself again. There was something that was breaking down. Uh-oh.
mm-hmm.
My wife just said
No,
something.
that's keep on going. I'm reading. Yeah, this is your spouse, honey. This is your spouse who is saying, "Let him who cannot be alone beware of community. Let him who is not in community beware of being alone. Each by itself has profound perils and pitfalls. One who wants fellowship without solitude plunges into the voids of the words and feelings, and the one who seeks solitude without fellowship, it was teacher Bonhoeffer. Come on, somebody, perishes in the abyss of vanity, self infatuation, and despair. Dietrich Bonhoeffer. How do we balance cultivating accountable and healthy relationships with ourselves and within our communities? Come on, sis. She came through. Okay. I'm sorry, I got excited because I was like, I did remember. I'm telling
I
you
get
that
excited too.
that
Listen,
little part of
that right
that
there,
book
that part,
changed
that
my
part.
life.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yes. Beware.
Hmm.
Beware. Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Oh, if y'all didn't know, this woman right here is married to the other
Yeah.
amazing woman. Introduce us to your spouse. Pronounce her name correctly because you know I will butcher it. So
Okay.
tell us her name.
Her name is Marlanda. Marlanda Dekine. I'm a dote on her. I love her. She is
Mm,
also a person of calm and thought of to be mysterious. Marlanda carries quite a presence. She is poet laureate of Georgetown County Library System. She's one of many poet laureates in the state of South Carolina, and she is amazing. Just go
mm.
look up marlandadekine.com.
Oh, I've had one occurrence where I got to sit in your wife's presence and listen to her read from one of her books that she had written. And there was just a stillness and a calmness that you can tell she had done that solitude and that pull away. And you can tell it's like I'm here, but I really could be in the corner somewhere, just in a like in my book about my time and by myself. And so I thank you for sharing her with us, even in the passage. But Nat, okay, you sparked so many follow up sessions that I know we're going to have throughout this year on the podcast. Listen, you have done my soul mm, such joy. I'm going to use your word that you talked about earlier with being present with us, sharing your full and your other word, transparent self, your story, your amazing journey. And I know it's like, it sounds like, I mean, it's just beginning, though you probably feel like it's been in it forever. Like you're literally on this journey. And I can't wait to see all that you are going to do with this beautiful soul in this beautiful body.
Oh, thank
Because there's greater works to be done, and you clearly are walking them out.
Well, I thank you, Angel, and I thank you just for asking me to come on. That was quite a surprise, and a good surprise to wake up to. And I look forward to cultivating just more community and relationship with you as
Mm,
well. And I meant what I said. your pictures, you did a photo shoot recently. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you what you see in that picture, that's what you see in person. It's joy.
Mm,
You carry this joy that it grabs you, and you just, and we hugged
mm.
each other for a long time, and I loved that.
I
Yeah,
can't give me some of that.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes. Thank you. Thank you
yes,
so much
yes.
for those kind words. And we're gonna say this joy that I have right now, the world didn't give it and the world can't take it away because Miss Nat has brought such joy, truth telling, spilling, teaching, dropping jewels. And now y'all gotta go find out how to use tuning forks, and you got to go find out about acupuncture, and you got to go look all this stuff up. As she said, you got questions, reach out and ask her. Nat, tell us how we can find you after the podcast episode.
You cut out just a bit. What did you say?
Okay, so I'm back. Please tell us how we can find you after
Oh,
the podcast. How can we connect with you, and where can we find you on social media and within the world?
okay. So again, Facebook, um, Instagram is Nat Dekine. Oasis Journey, which is under my name here on her screen. You can find the Instagram page there, the TikTok, and the YouTube as well. I also have a link tree. That's just Linktree, and then it's Natalia Dekine, and that'll lead you to all the links in one place if that's just easy for you to find me.
Awesome. Well, I will make sure that we put all the links in after this ends, which is in like 2 minutes. We thank you for joining us. This has been the beginning of season 4, episode 1. How do you do it all? We're focusing on the mind, body, soul, and spirit. And we're really focusing on the spiritual dimension and how you hold all of this together. And so we'll be meeting with some other beautiful healers throughout the rest of the month and throughout the year. And so, y'all, this is not the last of Nat. She's coming back. I didn't even ask. She's coming back because we need her to bring some more of her knowledge, her awareness, and her truth telling. So I thank you all for being here with us to this episode. Beloveds, I always say, I wish that you would prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. My name is Angel. I'm the Soul Healing Coach, and this has been the Soul Healing Coach Podcast, Season 4, Episode 1. Be well. Well, I hit end several times and it don't want to let us go.